I'm going to show you how to make vegetable or fish roti, and I'm going to make the dough first. To start the dough, I'm using 4 cups of plain flour, some salt, oil, and some oil to keep the dough in. And I'm using lukewarm water to mix. The amount of water depends on how much flour and how much water that you need for the flour. That will depend. I think nearly it will take 2 cups of lukewarm water. So I'm going to start this now. I'm little lazy to make the dough by hand, so I'm going to use the machine for this. I'm going to add the flour into the mixing bowl. At least you need to knead this dough about 10 minutes. Then the dough makes smooth and nicer, so it's easy to make after. So I'm going to add some salt, and while mixing this I'm going to add lukewarm water little by little. Knead it for several minutes and make sure that you have enough water here. I think I need to put more, so put more water. Little bit more. When you are making Godamba roti, the main thing is that the dough need to rest at least 12 hours. So after kneading this for several minutes, we can put the dough into the oil and leave it there for at least 10-12 hours, at least 1 hour. But if you keep it for longer, that works very well. If you want to make for dinner, prepare the dough in the morning, or if you want that for morning, make sure that you make it at night. Little bit more water. Now I am going to knead this for about 10 minutes. I am going to add a little bit of oil just to prevent sticking onto the mixing bowl, and I am going to knead this on low now for 10 minutes. I knead the dough about 10 minutes now, so I'm going to take this out. See, the consistency is exactly right and it's not sticking onto my hands at all. That means I have kneaded this enough. So I'm going to divide this into equal parts now. Put the dough onto your bench top and make a log out of that. It's a very smooth, nice dough. So now cut that into equal parts. I can do 3 from this, I think. So make balls out of that and dip that in oil. Make balls out of that and dip that in oil. While the dough is resting in the oil, what happens is the little bit of oil soaked into the flour and make it smoother. I'm going to put the rest of the dough like this into the oil and leave it 12 hours in a corner. Cover it with a damp cloth and leave it in a corner for 10 to 12 hours. If not, at least 1 or 2 hours in a corner before you do this one. I made all the dough into little balls. Now I dipped it all in the oil. Now I'm going to leave this aside. See, it's really nice. If you make the dough to the right consistency, it stays in the shape just like that. So I'm going to leave it about 10 to 12 hours and I'll come back to you after. The dough is ready for my vegetable roti. So I'm going to make the filling. To make the filling, I'm using some leeks cut into fine slices, and I have 5 boiled potatoes and 1 carrot. I sliced that, and 1 onion, some chilies, and for that I'm using pepper, unroasted curry powder, turmeric powder, chili powder, and some roasted curry powder and some coriander powder. If you don't want to use any of these, it's alright. So, and I'm using salt. I'm going to cook the curry first. I cook carrot, leeks and onions first, and I add the potatoes. If you like, you can add coconut milk or cream, or even leave it without them too. So I'll cook the filling and I'll come back and show you how to do that. I'm ready to do the vegetable roti now. So take 1 bowl of the dough out, put it on your bench top or on the pastry sheet and roll it down slowly, leaving the middle a little bit thicker than the edges. Meanwhile, make sure that you put a pan on the stove to be hot. When you are making the vegetable filling, it's up to you to decide which filling you want. It doesn't matter, it's just to your taste. You can add anything into the middle. So take a big bowl of filling and leave it in the middle. So do it like a little rectangle. It's like this, and take the edges 1 and the other edge 2 and cover it properly, and take this edge and the other edge, turn it upside down, make it like a rectangle. It's ready to go onto the stove, and I'm going to cook this on low heat on each side, top and the bottom, and all these sides you have to cook it on the stove, turning one by the other. So I'm going to put it on the stove now and reduce the heat. I made 7 vegetable rotis from my dough. So I turned one to the other side and I did the whole lot. So when you are sure that the other side is cooked, turn it to this side. It's alright turning it upside down, and once they are cooked on both sides, try to leave them like this to cook these sides too. I changed the sides several times, so I'm going to put them like this to stand and cook that side and again the other side. So once they are ready, turn it like this and cook the other sides too. I finished cooking my vegetable rotis and I'll show you after plating it up. These are the vegetable rotis I made and hope you will enjoy this recipe too. Thank you.